Yes, so like we might be very interesting that it's to be on this that basically the actual certificate might be some that when you get them to like prepare alone might be where of like improve might be having that small point might be like actual certificates that we look at when it comes to that sheer straightforward pattern point like even just aware of might be strong and get sort of might be like actual certificate about it that not even just aware might be aware of it that we might be so that actual certificates might be gone and teams might be on blindly assuming that get through like so in the call for when actually that might not be the case, but we might trend it. So that we and that hence that about the might of your ambition that get through might have even if like in the maybe might have attempted to like countdown on racer and that way to like intimidate racer into to say that give no better details about like the subo for start for that day for get through like a sense eventually on like subo first class get through might have mentioned that maybe in like the class might be like that but like that's what might have happened back then might have been that might have that Adam job that get through might have been suddenly backfired that might have been easily caught by caught and like stopped by race of the next of might have been like calculated what might have made it happen the next of us but like to the random three that Gensuru might have barely managed to like escape not by some next of us that way might have been what might have happened like about this being that the answer. So definitely that Gensuru that then might have been like patiently waiting for that anyone strong enough to that for a defeat face so that like Gensuru is like sees away that whistle start from the might have been like that of like the simulation of that Gensuru since then might have been like the base that nearby the surroundings very so that the very specific they want to put the that like this event might be of like the conjure of all like the prejudice then right and it might be sort of the man of bad luck is able to that change companies into being able to actually into being able to that look especially young might be that parents which might be like that is it like the clever with the able to do that because might not just be that age change you know that like this they might be able to do but like they might also be able to like change perform it will might like also change it. It is so that we have the right now that like don't like Florida player someone team member in the third world might be in actuality take a bit of that get to the screen and might be working on like it might be like the active situation but you know the career so that it might be really him that might have definitely uh using one of the stars might have definitely signal uh signal that that the moment that was got its hands on that the also might be that the report might have certainly might have been so like and so might have the past like and so strategy this still remembering is that like and so like the past might have attempted to see like to defeat racism and this need or like to attempt to like integrate racism into like revealing like the social information as to like how to see like the super but that attempt of Black Emperor might have probably backpack and his agents sort of might have exactly managed to like escape right from like by the in the bug might have been what might have happened. And then like Emperor like Emperor might have been afraid of like attempt making another attempt on like a rape. Might have been like the case that may not trend. So like since then like describe you like into the might have like the might have been to have the great extent of that reflecting of the stealthy the spread around like the Great Island world close to like the area like further so that like close to the town where my place will be so that like eventually uh one the team members of like get through for that region who might show potential to be able to standing a chance at maybe like defeating racial then at that point for like them to like put on that at the state had been has been like them wanting to like offer help and this need that way once that physically hopefully once like that way the racial would be defeated and like the super that would be that would be seen like at that point for like that secret team of like Gensuru to that instantly like send like without wasting the time to give the like signal to steadily using this like what may be the start like selection really like signal to that Gensuru So the member everything that team member in that one space, team member different to be a trader like a so select about my doubt before sending him off part of that so what might be the right into the team left so those ones are uh, at that point those point I guess so might have what can give him a specific uh, unique card through which lucky might be able to like remotely send message instantly send message to any sort of message to Gensuru might be like it is the me friend. The client was working with for like right now for like for and team to like make that brainstorm and basically come up with that strategy of what might be to like send this okay in like the who might be have checked because I think the place of that um in the place of Lexus Ibarra to break Gensuru and that way to that for and then coming up with like also the strategies like the now that about it so that strategies that they will be finalizing and will be putting for that on that inclusion in that one scene studying the membrane to make a trainer like an action stealthy sending using that exact coordinate that exact down like the stealthy that revealing that strategy to get through like before like this is will be making towards like into this actually knowledge that about the technical like the so the claim is bring yet like for like narrative in like for Hilwa to not like we have thought on to like the arrangement of that the weakness in that get having found out about that then having feel like this is also start so that they will bring Hilwa might doubt not just in I probably felt like I'm looking right over the game of the groundbreaking of like about the Panther being betrayed against Rose that team and must have like betrayed in that one state. Who they along the lines of the like to have game down for the weekend down to the conclusion. And that way they can bring like Kilua along with like Don and to the game. See while them making them totally making a fake strategy in front of like Setujara and team members and like other guys as well in front of them and basically the origin strategy of like Silva Don and this game so I that which of this translation and with among themselves they don't secretly is like does not that don't say that I got that for like the was that I'm looking for like both exact team members of like one team in like that against that way that have right now one missing that might be that the exact on that might be inequities that we highlight to and working for that input and might have reported to get the return on the platform or like something of post might say that the case of that the hospital that applicable that was to that we have to community that the bond will be confronted again group to take on that so that at that point I'm notifying that maybe that could happen with that them all showing up that them all until that point on without within that long has happened like with that all showing up beside it so like the villain sticking up to bring down bond is like the other confident scenario that I was really I can not very but and about the mind during that's the case then about the brain might be not then improve a strategy of that can throws like improve my doubt given the team members of that so specific team members missing the numbers of that one uh, specific unique kind of that skill card through which that those units like individuals might be able to that temporarily hide the from that the dynamic players list for like a temporary theoretic might be like the case of improve using that spell card and like that as writing to have the name of those exact players the like shown as the thing from like this what like the not increase and game players and that way like trick gone into thinking that you create their loss that happened by Gensuru. So that's the considering remember to get a for like it might be Gensuru that might be like the JyonenUser that like things have right now and simply might be very Joan powers make it exclusive to that a single specific land type and high skill and high skills of that exact land type might be exact to certificate because we need to in order to that in order to be able to like, detect and into the first single powers that and totally different another specific single land type it might be able to like detect so that in like the Gallet case that it might be through the factor of that the specific exact gene type that she belongs to, and that this might be aware of gene type as well as that she might be accepting the skills in that specific gene types as well. And that these two factors might be what might be allow Callitt to be able to like detect the journey user might be that depends that means might be very construction. Going to my mention number in head of like Vishal that might have done the whole homework and basically done the whole study about that journey users and basically gone through internet and online as well as that through a lot of books and everything and might have basically came down to this conclusion that basically might have able to figure it out and basically that about the different what might be as to the access the exact and type might be for to that detect a journey user and that way like I'm different that might have within that particular line of word like the remaining kind of paper might have the initially something for that an individual with that specific exact then type which might be aware of name type and is they might have been separate something of them an individual and that way might have been out that the remaining variables might have initially found carried which might have been also within that particular running it. So if so that technique by considering right now the technique for that together and then like it so only some clear in that being able to activate can so at least only maximum to that to like the end of like the second human. There's that thing now that by then I'm not preparing for like to have like to finally figure out like set together like transit and I'm not preparing that can to find the cancer and set together by the time it will be towards like the end of the second week discussion now that about that they to the right team that was making it towards the to like the 3 week mark and basically just sharing before that like I'm trying that to the right like in that team they wrote down like in the yes so like such anyways the scenario is one of the thing that don't be propaganda that the reason for like such an eventual fate of about 90% in the state awaiting that physical and the state of still in the market and team and so the reason for it being a trade up sit where I to lack cancer being present have been present in lack from sort for in the entire time frame of the individually ending up taking football like reflected with now that of the considered over and not the right like the writing that probably putting more like to do imagery to come up with to like print out skins and thing that I'm totally putting to be most likely I'm totally different to do imagery telling this okay and one that is in order to like print out imagery and screen that they have to figure out like into this ability like this ability and everything to be along the lines that are different that ಇದು that point telling them selected not that I mean select in order to like figure out like and for them to be able to select figure out everything like and that is what I mean that first they have to uh for them to like give the original suburb of car to the program since that Gensuru currently is under like the function that like the original suburb is car then like the function of like the Sugara for them to like give the original suburb of car to like the Sugara and then to sell the Sugara to like allow the like suburb those car original suburb those car to like get stored by any other career island except for like Gensuru. Before Gensuru makes it towards like Sugara to be along the lines and to different plan was definitely favorite. So then like at that point like the pseudo or with the seals from like to figure out like another program like at that point like definitely like and is like and things like attention would be shifted from like to figure out to the other player. So that like particularly that way like again so and still the that showing up to see the pseudo was cut from that player like at that point for like one and team to like still maybe just one a team or like one a team along with like the and team as well to like see in like the hiding and like the spying on that exact player while the influence team will be going up to like see the silver card from that exact player. So that like at that point like as that if you not like see like silver card like can do not like returning of just like ability might be along the lines that you don't get any together. So like at that point, like, they'll be able to like see actually while trying they have to like see what that Gensuru that ability is and how Gensuru is it and everything. So that where that went wrong like wrong and like when the thing to like make the ambush move against like Gensuru and the spin. of like figuring out like the ability to ball like and using that ability to be bring down that that player with like both into those so that's one of the most fundamental actually also think that this league prove what might be such a frustrating of Gensuru while they would be taking on Gensuru and team. If that individual first thing like the original Subogun can't like manage to like escape and get away, regardless like and different like they will be witnessing like this like ability that individual ability as well quite as like into bringing out ability to be along the lines of different actually will be absolutely so the lead by tracking that will down with like if one of like the spells are like literally they will be having that much of like time uh like to bring that individuals down and like feel that like the social to be along the lines of the different that might be hopeful and positive about okay, so that definitely is not the figure I'm looking right now is that actually the game might be inactive, they might be able to that take it to the to that take any form to it might be that actually just the game that we must consider and that will like I'm looking for maybe eventually right now I'm looking at made for like eventually to do coming up with like with variety to that have this get transform position into taking the form of like cellular to continue that way eventually forms variety to that way trick yentro the thinking it's like the original etc. Okay, so that's a name of your person right now. Very nice. Exactly next the person point that the if you want to submit a form right because of that factors like the journey submit how like by your point it might be having a lot of like similarity to like the ways of like the kind of work might be like the ways that you frame so the journey user as well might be an extremely realistic exactly like the kind of work and as well as like the journey user as well might be having the what is like the habit of that uh, precisely creating up objective points might be like exactly like how the second that is to so that backup chain of manpower like the journey user as well might be having some sort of like unique manpower but this like we might be having like similar uh power to like clean up after might be like clean up the together so definitely not qualifying that John was up to I'm talking that John and Paul might be not only just about like ongoing that powers I know but like might be having like some power to to a lot of damage to the target as well. As well as John and Paul with like John and Paul like a lot of disturbance as well might be created on a target might be also the case that we might be able to do like that the was like situation might be like fluctuant of like it's like going and users that join go might be like that to the case that we might be able to like it might have been most likely and a preparation by that exact join user if we that better of gadget for that join user to play like the real game because like I'm going to like the real game it might not be money that like that your user may pick up but like I'm talking it might be some sort of like a specific item that your user might be after it. So maybe I'm looking at that your user as well might want to complete that secret game so that like we could say uh items system that exact item system that select available might be around the lines of like the current code might be like the journey user so that we have to play like this or like trying to like working on this jump and we're trying to like get like the journey user to like especially to like to to live and work to like follow but like I'm talking regardless of like one or two on page like I'm talking like the journey user and eventually that like what the journals are eventually revealing what is it that exactly that you know was typically the method again to make the specific item within like the gear and it may be like the low planet item might be the case like also like a possibility that is something so definitely that way I can do it. After that, you might know that they only using like the Hitoga and like the kind of and Hitoga might be reflected that you only use of that might be the one as well. You know, so like so at that point, even Hitoga so that was getting that if they so both like they won't be able to like bring like the user that to like or to get him to that and to get out the line like to say that and the penalty feeling like that way that to go back and like the and that phase of like the remaining man of growth and of the next real and get at that point taking up the task to like collect all that the three running game tasks exactly necessary understand so that tool that way will help with that the journey is also allow him to like see that exact item that will make the upload. So that it might not much great time might have passed since like this journey user might have entered into the career and gets might be that the actual different against directly. So that he might be these are requiring a lot of that stance to till that point part when might be that against the name of the career. So that can to affect exactly after like wrong and team will be struggling their way to like find the specific schedule and then that kind of component in find me completing all of it down like the 5 minutes like now kind of so that so like 5 minutes actually so that and it's kind of fight it even realizing that really that that one and team has like almost like the entirety of that that it has like when that section it has like it's so like at that point I'm not depending for that for to be known like that it's a random question but like I'm not depending for like to go back well that would be absolutely it would be like take all of like the time away from that one to the and this is